John C. Maxwell, in his book, The Five Levels of Leaderships, described the first level as leadership by title. It's positions and based on authority. Many leaders stuck here. It's the ego level, where leadership is tied to job titles with low trust environment. The leadership patterns are typically signified by tight control and monitoring. The second level, it's all about relationships. At this level, people follow you because they believe you care. They are asking, can I trust you? Do you care enough about me? And they will follow you because you show that you care about them. And that really matters. And many of you watching this already leading from this place. You've built strong relationship with your team. You've earned your team trust. People feel safe around you, and that's no small thing. That is an incredible strength and is baseline for great leaderships. But let's be honest, if you're still the one that making every decision from A to Z, carrying the weight of the business and stepping into fix things more often than you like, then something needs to shift. Because here's the thing. While level two leaderships, the relationship level, is powerful, staying here too long can quietly create a ceiling. Think of the levels as spectrums, a wide range of leadership styles and stages. On one end of the level two stage is the nice boss, where everyone likes to hang around. And then there's the progressions of that. Being the nice boss doesn't grow your people or your business. And if that's the only leadership muscle you've been trained to use, it can be exhausting. You weren't meant to carry all of it on your own. The good news is you don't have to. If you want to expand beyond level two and continually growing your next stage of leaderships, you don't need to do more. You just need to do things differently. You're not just here to support your team. You are here to grow them. I want you to see yourself like a farmer. Your job isn't to force the plants to grow. It's to nurture the soil, to create the right conditions, build trust, also build your people to stretch and grow. And that starts with the four essential shifts that will help you to lead with clarity and develop empowered people and create a culture that thrives with or without you in the room. So let's explore the four pillars of people first leaderships from Meta Dynamics framework. Pillar number one, mentoring and coaching, not just mateships. Jack Welch once said, before you are a leader, success is about growing yourself. But once you become a leader, it is about growing others around you. And that's what this first shift is all about. Moving from being the person who supports to being the one who stretches others into the next level. You're great at being there for your team. You do your check in, you support them, you got their backs. And these are amazing qualities. And here's the shift to the next level. We've all heard that as leaders, we need to spend more time working on the business, not just in it. But many people interpret this working on the business as improving systems, structures, and processes. Those are important. But as Brené Brown puts it, leaders are the one who can see the potential in people and processes and take ownership to grow them. So yes, work on the business in your systems and processes. But do not forget, your people are the significant part of the business. They are the faces that runs the system that you create. They are the human beings with challenges and potentials and capacity to grow. They are the faces of your brand to the world that you are serving. Many leaders find comfort in working in systems because systems are predictable. People are not. But your next level of leadership lies in developing both. That means you don't just encourage and pat your team on the back when things going well. You also give them feedback. Feedback that helps them to stretch, to reflect, and then continually growing. And yes, some feedback will feel uncomfortable, both to give and to receive, which is why your ability to hold space for honesty, reflection, and growth is critical. You challenge their thinking, not just nodding along. You set clear expectations and give them the space to rise. And when they don't meet those expectations, you create a safe space and an open conversations, not to shame them, not to blame them, but to realign with the vision. You help them feel seen, but you also stretch them so they can grow into their full potential. So ask yourself this: am I simply being a mate to my team, or am I nurturing and challenging to grow as people and as professionals? Pillar number two, intentional connection. You can't lead everyone the same because each individual is unique, but you can connect with purpose and intention, and that's fundamental in any relationships. You are naturally good with people, but effective leadership, connection isn't just about being everyone's friend. It's about being intentional. You align relationships with the vision, with the goals. You build trust without creating codependency, and you challenge people when needed, not out of trying to pressure them, but out of care. It's not about playing favorites or being overly available for your team or everyone else. It's about showing up consistently with clarity and care so your people know that they are supported and you got their backs. You know when to challenge them and you know when to take a step back, giving them the space to figure things out on their own. And they grow as a result of it. And it's not just about the warmth conversations over coffee and the water cooler conversations. It's about helping them to step into their edge of comfort and then expanding it. The bottom line is this: great leaders don't just create connection, they use it to drive momentum. Pillar number three, social attunement. Reading the room might be your most underrated superpower. This is where emotional intelligence becomes practical in relationship management. It's your ability to walk into space and feel whatever there is going on before anyone says a word. You notice the lightness in the room or you notice the tension. You sense when someone is vibing happily or when your team members just had some arguments, hiding under the email threads and the chat boxes. You pick up the energy from the room, you pick up the shift, and you respond with intention. And you don't just push through the day and just ignore it and expect that things will go away because you just swept it under the carpet. You pause, you observe, and then you adjust. That's leading more effectively. Here's the kicker: how well you read others in the room often tied how well you are aware of your own emotional state and how well you are regulating yourself. If you can manage your own state, your presence in the room becomes the anchor that steadies the boat. Pillar number four, mindfulness. If you are reacting to everything, you're not leading, you are firefighting. When challenges arise, your first instincts might be to jump in and fix it. The best leaders know when to pause. You don't rush to solve, you slow down. You listen to understand, not to react. You ask questions before offering any answers and solutions. You hold space for others to step up rather than stepping in out of habit. When you lead mindfully, your team learns to think for themselves. You create conditions for ownership, not codependence. Here's your next challenge. Next time a problem lands on your desk, I invite you just to pause and ask yourself this question: how can I use this moment to grow my people, not just to get it off my plate? Because when you slow down, they speed up. Remember this, leaders. How you show up shapes the world that you build. Until next time, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.